Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. Rich, what is going on? You know what? I'm not going to ask you what's going on. Just hold on for a second, Rich. We have a guest host with us, Floyd Johnson Jr. from All Things Elite, a part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. How are you doing, Floyd? Don't answer that. Let's just get to it. Last night at the Oscars, at some point, because I don't watch the Oscars, because why would I? Chris Rock, who was hosting, which is funny because like he was a guy that was like the person that was hosting like the VMAs back when they were last relevant in the late 90s and 2000s. He made a reference to Jada Pinkett Smith and made a G.I. Jane joke. A lot of people may or may not have known she has had a journey of late with her hair and because of that, she has alopecia, so she can't grow hair. So obviously, there's stuff going on. Will Smith, who was there, is seen after the remark is made, and you can see Jada, and you can see Will, and you can see Will laugh because he's obviously like you're getting. It's a bit of like a roast where you're at on the day. It's a bit at the at an award show, kind of open games. He laughs. Jada doesn't laugh. They cut back to Chris Rock. Chris Rock is looking at Jada, and he clearly sees that Jada is not just rolling with this. She was not happy, and he was like, "It's just a joke," more or less saying like, "It's a joke." So he goes to continue. Next thing you know, you hear Chris Rock as he's about to move on to the next joke or the next whatever punchline thing he's about to set up, about to go, and he stops and says, "Oh, okay." And you see Will Smith walk towards him, and just walks about, arm's length, and it slaps shit out of him, and then turns around and walks back down, and then Chris Rock says, "Oh, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me." And I'm not going to editorialize. Then they cut back to show Will Smith sitting back down where he was. He was sitting in the front row, and he says, on the edited feed, you find out it was 7-second delay. It was cut out, but on the foreign feeds, it was not because, whatever. You could him clearly say, "Keep my name's wife out of your fucking mouth." And then he repeats it again, even louder, saying, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." And then Chris Rock says, "I will. I'm going to." Then from there, he's about to say something and he stopped himself from whatever he had in his mind to say, which was like, ooh. And then he went to continue on and, with the festivities. But everybody that in the building seemingly thought that this was a part of the gag, a joke. And then once Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, the crowd gets more silent because they realize, oh my God, he really just slapped this dude at the Oscars. Floyd, you are the guest, so I'm going to you first. What were your thoughts when you discovered this video of this whole encounter in front of millions of people on live national television? Or at least a 7-second delay. National.
Okay, so I have had conflicting thoughts. My initial thought was probably everyone else's initial thought. Will Smith just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, and I'm just like laughing. I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, nobody's calling that dude soft now. You know, he's gotten thrown like under the bus over the last 2 years. And I'm just like laughing. And then like 20 minutes in, the old guy in me is like, dude, we just saw assault committed on TV. And like no one did anything about it. No security came, no nothing. He just sat back down and got the Oscar for Best Actor later. Like nothing happened.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if there's ever a time to question whether or not like the voting or worked or whatever else, that would be the time. Because once you slap somebody in front of all of these rich uppity white folks, you kind of want to rig it to make sure he's not going to finish the night with the fucking trophy, right? With the biggest trophy in the game, right?
Yeah. I'm like, there's so much security there. No one did nothing. No walk towards him to make sure he's okay. That dude just got slapped and everybody watched and like shocked and laughed. Like nobody had Chris Rock's back. Nobody came up and said, I got Chris Rock.
Bro.
Chris Rock was just on an island of slap.
Yeah.
He's
Rich,
just like
your
on
turn.
this island. Yeah.
Yeah.
They slapped this man in front of Beyonce. So I don't have anything profound for you. I was in this for the jokes. I'm not gonna sit here and defend the celebrities and their right to whatever, because they're people just like us. So it was a Two Americas moment, because I saw a lot of pearl clutching on Twitter, and it was people was embarrassing themselves. I think thinking about it way too hard. There was one person that determined what the line was, and I don't think it was for any of us to determine. So people were having these arguments on whether Will went too far, whether the joke was out of line or whatever, and it shouldn't have got to that level. No one's responsible for this except one person, and one person was clearly the judge, the jury, and executioner. Like, he came out there and took this man's block off. Like, he walked up to that man, and Chris Rock, I feel like Chris Rock didn't even realize what was happening. He was
definitely.
There. It was like, definitely. Why is Will walking up? Wow, and then just like the craziest thing is like Chris Rock, you could see him for like a split second decide, like, I feel like I want to fire back,
right?
But nah, I can't, because like I'll end my career right now, like, and he may have done that anyway, but
nah, he's fine.
Like, he came out there like and made that business decision, was like, yeah, I'm gonna still make sure I get paid here tonight, so I'm not about to do whatever. I just got one question, James. Is this just the ultimate light skin W right here? Like, what,
I mean, you have to give me the list of other ones. I'm not really sitting here concerned about like the W's for the light skin community.
We was talking about the other week by Hobbs and what's his name, Anthony Bowens and Caster. So Will slapped the shit out of this man, and he had to eat it.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Bobby Lashley just returned in front of Almas. I guess this is. I guess only one surprise. Anyway, back to lecture at hand. So a few things. There's going to be a lot of stuff, right? Because this brings up one, respectability politics, probably at the forefront of all this. Two, the misogyny and misogynoir of what Chris Rock said to Jada Pinkett Smith. Of one, like shaved, low haircut, bald heads for black women is a thing. It's not, and it doesn't have to be about her alopecia or not. That's a hairstyle that black women have worn for decades, centuries.
I didn't even know. Like, right. I didn't even know.
I didn't know about that either. But then you throw in like the part where it's like the joke is like a play on like knocking her because she looks like G.I. Jane. And at the time when that movie came out, it was also like to talk about like she's so tough despite the fact that this is a beautiful woman, but she doesn't have her femininity, her hair, right? Like there's all that. So there's that part at play. There is the part where it's like, you see Will laugh and shake it off. You don't know how much that is. He was actually upset but he had to laugh because he knew he was in a public space versus, him looking at, his wife and then saying, I gotta go out there and I gotta defend my wife. Which is like, all right, like, so how much
term for this?
Right. Yeah. Proving your love. How much of that is that? How much of it is like, whatever. Oh my God. Yeah, send me Almas versus Lashley. I just saw one in a physical interaction, and they just ran into each other at full speed and both bumped on the mat hard. Run that. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 3 minutes of that. Anyway, back to as you can see, Floyd head turn. You're like, what? Fuck this conversation.
No, like,
he got big dudes out here bumping.
We got big meat, meat, bumping meat out here.
Yes. Anyway, yeah, man. There's a lot of stuff at play with that. But I all I'm coming down to on that is there are consequences for the things you say, regardless of what kind of safety or measures you think you have in place by being a comedian or being a public speaker or whatever. Nothing protects you from that. When I've seen this stuff, when people talk about like Chris Rock just being a comedian, whatever else, is like, yeah, man, like the point of jokes is someone's going to be the butt of them, and it's up to that person or that something to buck back if it so chooses, right? So, this happened a lot more in previous generations where like a comedian has things to say, and then Celebrity X, person that's notorious more than famous, also wants to get a hold of you for things you say. And a lot of comedians have gotten their asses whipped for a long time over this kind of stuff. I guess people thought that like it wouldn't happen on a place as quote unquote prestigious and as rich and uppity and snobbish and white as the
Academy Awards.
The Academy Awards,
Oscars.
Yes. I was about to say the Audio Academy. I was like, no, that's audio recording. That's the Grammys. Anyway, yes. And like, not necessarily. Like Will Smith is successful enough to where he can be comfortable feeling like, hey, and powerful enough to say, hey, if I wanted to, outside of pretty much any woman in here and anyone over 60 in here, I could walk up and slap the shit out of somebody and then walk back down and sit down in my seat and not have to worry about the repercussions of being arrested or anything like that. Someone might want to come over to talk to me, which happened, but like, whatever. And also another part of it is like, if you are willing to go to jail for a night for misdemeanor or battery and you're willing to deal with that, you're rich as fuck, you can do that too. And Will Smith clearly was okay with that. No charges were pressed. But he was clearly okay with the consequences of his actions. So he went out there, he let off on that man's jaw, and he went and sat back down, and then he won the fucking award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture for 2021.
What a night.
A legend. He was already a legend, now he's doubled up.
Like, I just find it hard to watch some of these people on Twitter that have just faked this outrage like about this and like saying he could have died and
the
comedians, like, their job of a comedian is to challenge thought and push boundaries. I'm like, well, where's the be funny part? They always seem to miss this. Like, and you know, there were people that audibly reacted to the joke in a negative way, but like I said, there is only one person that was, going to be the judge on that. And he came up there and broke them off something like, Master P and Pimp C and, all them was saying, break them off something. That's pretty much what happened. Like, this man rolled up on Pookie and hit him.
Okay, so Sir Sam in here is saying, right, I'm looking at it, he says, that's the absolute self-control that must have taken from Chris to not rip Will Smith a new one for half an hour is monumental. I mean, you can say that, but you just had a person that was willing to, at some extent, like, put some type of risk on his career to slap the shit out of you in front of literally millions of people.
He'll
like,
do it again.
Something, like, here's the thing what comes with a slap, right? If you get slapped by somebody, there is the air of, I have no problem fighting you. You don't get to slap somebody without saying that not only am I willing to fight you, I'm pretty sure I can also whoop your ass. So if someone slaps you, chances are they can whoop your ass. So for Chris Rock to the self-control, I mean, that wasn't much self-control as much as self-preservation. Because look, he could have got closed fist as opposed to open fist like he just got open hand.
He could have got backhanded. And it would have been real bad.
That's the thing with backhands. Like, you don't have as much power with your backhand as you do with a regular standard slap. Like, and also, like, it's not. You also look at the way he did it. Like, it wasn't no big wind up. Like, he has been training in slapping. Like, there was no wind up with that. It was just pure brutal efficiency, and the only thing you really saw was the follow through. It was well done, really well done.
And Will has long time had the nice guy presentation for about 25 years at this point, 30 years at this point. The safe rapper, the person for everybody, the TV star, the movie star, and frolicking with his side of Hollywood, I would say. And I think what people forget, like, is, bro, like, I don't want to say it, but like, this man's from he's from where he's from, so like. Mm-hmm. That shit don't leave you, and it sucks. It had to be both of these guys because they have long legacies, lots of respect among both of them. I didn't want to see them dudes hitting each other like that, or that one dude hitting that other dude like that. But like, I can't pass judgment on him either, because it's like, that's his wife. Like, I can't tell that man not to be offended or to prove his love for Jada. So it is what it is. Like,
I don't have an issue with none of this stuff, because it's like, when you talk about the legacy stuff, it's like, nothing happened to their legacy. So, like, we got, think of all these people.
I just mean these guys are like real well regarded, and No,
like, but there are people that are getting into the legacy talk of whatever. It's like, nah, man, their body work is their body at work. Like, someone getting slapped and somebody slapping someone is not where we're stopping on. We're not canceling is not a thing, but like, no one's actually going to cancel Will Smith for slapping somebody. Like, Bel Air will run regardless.
Yeah.
Like, his next movie, like whatever next movie he does with his production company, it will sell regardless. Nope. Like, stop.
Or probably he'll sell more.
He might slap somebody in it.
Yeah. No, I got like two points. First of all, Will Smith made a business decision. He saw who was up there. If somebody bigger was up there, yeah, Will Smith ain't coming up there to slap him in the face. He picked little ass Chris Rock to slap him in the face. Good job. Smart decision. He knew the person that wasn't going to fight back.
Right.
Because a couple of comedians would have laid his ass out. Just right there. So, second of all, he probably made Chris Rock $20 million. Because there's going to be a Netflix special called I Got the Shit Slapped Out of Me by Will Smith, and Chris Rock is going to break all sorts of records.
Yeah. And also it's like, look, if he wants to, he will have that job for a long time annually.
I'm back. Last year, I got the shit slapped out of me. What will happen this year?
They have to bring him back. They have to bring him back just for that reason alone. He has to come back at least one more time just for that reason alone. Like the option had to be picked up that like seconds after, like in the back after that last segment when he went.
They're like, yes,
yes, definitely. This is controversy breeds cash.
Well, I'm just like, it's at least got to be a joke next year where he brings security on stage. And it's
yes,
like, yes. Before I tell a joke, I got my security up here in case Will Smith is here. He has to do that.
Yep,
he has to do it.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
Chat room is on fire. I appreciate all you guys jumping in.
Will Smith should join the slap fight league. No. I don't know how the slap fight league really works, but like,
I know you gotta get hit.
Yeah, like he gotta get hit back. I don't think Will really wants the hit back part.
Look, if you guys enjoy the slap fight leagues, I think you guys should check out the original time I ever seen people slapping people. God. It's like Smackfest on Hot 97. Those videos still might be on YouTube. It is comedy. Please. And this isn't like people that have been training and lifting weights for this. This is just somebody from the neighborhood against somebody else. It could be women, it could be men, and they
wait. You're not telling me it's a catch? Is a catch fight? You ain't telling me it's a catch weight? Oh, okay, I'm about to say, hold on.
No, so a lot of people, Will Smith clearly a fan of Inoki with the slaps.
Man, everybody had them jokes.
Yeah, so, man.
I saw Inokiism. I saw this is King's Road. I saw
all the punchlines, the rappers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's coming.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to think of me a good one.
This is the first time a slap. Both of them came out over, so it worked out. People were like, "Want to see what Rock's gonna say next?" People was like, "Will Smith ain't no bitch." This is good stuff. They both came out. Hey,
a lot with Will. He been going through a lot with Jada the last couple years. We know. And
WWE could learn a lot from that altercation. Both people came out more over.
Yeah. I just gotta set up some people to, come out there and like I feel like Max Caster is scrambling right now. He's literally doing process elimination of which line he should say. Right? Yes. So if I was CK, I would give him the week off. But
yes, I was gonna say it's gonna be on that TMZ thing. If anything, he's going to get it out. He is going to get that joke out. That one he came up with. It's gonna come out.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, that could be a whole song, actually.
You got slapped, bitch. I can't believe
there was somebody that had a song out about it, like when I woke up in the morning.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah, there was someone on the internet made a song and made it like a TikTok thing that blew up.
All right, so all right. I got one. We can leave after this because we're already 23 minutes in talking about those fucking slaps. But this is what I'm asking this in good faith with y'all, and I expect y'all to to give me at least some short answer, right? So I saw a group, a certain sect of people, that love the slap under the guy. Not guy. It's not right, but their notion was: are we protecting black women, or are we not protecting black women? And I guess my question is, the injury already happened. So I'm trying to figure out was that protection or was that vengeance?
Oh, that's vengeance all the way.
Okay, because
it already happened. I mean,
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on that one because I feel like that's a solid point. But sometimes protect black women as a general idea can be kind of vague, and a lot of people don't know what exactly it means. So when this happens and people want to apply that, I don't have a problem with them doing that. But I'm just if you put this on paper ahead of time and I didn't actually know the event or actually see it, hey, would this be an example of protecting? I don't know. So. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not so sure either because it's this all falls into once I see him laugh at first and then it takes him to look over to see his wife not with it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't as noble as people would like to make it out to be.
It wasn't noble at all.
This
and
is
the camera
this is
cut
in a
from
way
them
like
after,
you gonna let him talk to me like this? That's what that is.
Like after,
that's what it
after
came
they
out to.
showed her not laughing, they cut the camera away, and I don't know what happened between them during that time. Like, did she further get upset about it? Did she say like, "Well, you gonna let this slide?" Like, "Oh, you laughing at me?"
It ain't even like I don't know if that happened. One could speculate about that, but at the least, they cut away. Her face is still up. She's still clearly bothered by what she said. Will clearly is then recalculating the maths on all this, right? And Chris Rock is clearly looking at her and sees that she did not take or she did not appreciate that joke, which is why he was like, "It's just a joke. This was light." And then Will gets up there, so it's like, I mean, I don't know how much of it had to be where Jada has to give the go up there and hit him, stare at Will, but clearly it was like, okay, she didn't like this, I got to do something about it, and then it went from 0 to 100 real quick. But
whether verbal or not, some communication happened between them, and he thought that was what needed to be done.
Right.
That man, probably done heard this line like a bunch of times in the last 25 years he's been with that woman. Well, Tupac would have something, and then he didn't want to hear that tonight. So he didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So
the also dangerous 5'9" Tupac that never got arrested until after he was rapping. Yeah. Anyway, Jesus Christ.
So James, I'm going to hit the music a little bit early. So I don't know if you want to pull up to hear it is WrestleMania season.
Oh,
so when it's time for WrestleMania, it is time for this. Let's go. Break it down. Here at WrestleMania 12. Alrighty, so it is time for your WrestleMania preview. This is I love that WrestleMania theme song. That's just a joke. We've played it many times in the past on the show. So hope you guys enjoyed our Jada and Will analysis. But man, this show, woo!
So Floyd, we asked you on because we need help, man. We don't watch we don't watch the Raw or SmackDown. We follow from people that cover it, people that we trust, and some obviously the pay-per-views that we've seen, and some of from just going from month to month watching pay-per-views, or in this case January was day one and also Royal Rumble, but watch the pay-per-views, hearing the bi-weekly reviews for their television. It sounds like they ain't got nothing except for Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns part whatever, and now they're dubbing it as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, when it's I'm sorry, last I checked, you're doing 2 shows on WrestleMania weekend that are going to have about the same attendance as WrestleMania 3's fake attendance. So I'm kind of lost here. Is it?
Well,
are we? Is the math not mathing? Am I missing something here?
Well, since I'm a masochist, I never miss WWE programming, so I can tell you to this that's how they're booking it. I honestly think Charlotte and Ronda might be the stronger match, because in their previous as far as fan interest, because in their previous attempts with those two, they've never really had a one-on-one winner. When they did the one-on-one match, Charlotte beat her with the kendo stick
for DQ.
Yeah. So it's I honestly think the storyline of this one and them fighting and stuff has been, even though Ronda kind of is not terrible on the mic, has been almost better built. And if you're asking me about those two matches, I'm very much more looking forward to Charlotte and Ronda and what Ronda can do, less than a year after giving birth versus, Charlotte, how she's been booked. I think she's been booked stronger than anybody in WWE in a very, very long time. She's
stronger than Roman?
The Romans had a last good year and a half, but look at Charlotte's career.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
32, she beat the streak with Asuka. Charlotte wins. You know what I mean? They have built her really, really well. So she is her strong opponent versus this supposedly bigger than life person, Ronda Rousey. I think almost is better. But yeah, if you watch the advertising, if you're a person that doesn't watch the program and just watch the advertising, this is a 2-night WrestleMania with one match.
Well, let's start at night one.
No, you gotta let that joke sit. It was fucking good. It's a 2-night WrestleMania with one fucking match. That's all right, go ahead.
Well, we should definitely start with that one with Charlotte and Ronda, on day one, and we'll go through the rest of the matches from there. I would also like to get a out of 10 score on each match for the level that we're kind of looking forward to it. So Charlotte,
the level
and Ronda
we're looking
Rousey,
forward to it, or the level that we think the match is going to be, or both.
The level we're looking forward to it.
Okay, sure. Out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, like Floyd mentioned, I don't know why they're doing this match. When the last time she was here, we didn't even want Charlotte near her at any point. No one asked for this. It is a cognizant choice, I feel like, by the promotion to elevate Charlotte even further. And while someone like Sasha Banks is buried in an 8-person tag team fatal 4-way clusterfuck, when despite the fact that there's not a shred of evidence that Charlotte's ever been a bigger star than Sasha, and they're doing this match for the SmackDown Women's Belt. I think Charlotte's title reign has been a joke. She hasn't defended the belt against when's the last time she's defended that thing?
I'd have to pull it up to look.
Was it like Naomi on a TV match? She hasn't had pay-per-view title matches.
Was that a title match?
Yeah,
I believe it was.
Hey, to be fair, that title match was I gave that title match 4 stars. That match was fucking great. So
yeah,
I went on my way to see it because I try to when people say stuff about the biases of whatever, is bro, if there is a good match that I hear good word of mouth from WWE, I will watch it just like if I heard anything about some Joshi match or whatever else. I will seek it out and go find it. So I don't want to hear it. I just rarely ever hear that these matches are I get a great match from WWE. It just happens to be that. Also, just a coincidence, right? I went and looked at Cage Match today for matches that are in the top 100 from the whole world this year so far. On the first page of the match guide and Cage Match, WWE has 6 or 7 in the top 100 matches.
Very bad.
Especially when you got most of the talent in the biggest concentration of talent, top talent anyway. Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Charlotte and Ronda, not excited for it. 2 out of 10 for me, and this is just I've never got it. I'm not into Ronda Rousey at all. I think she stinks. Pushing her as the babyface is also absolutely ridiculous at this point. She's throwing all these terrible punches, and the last time we've seen her, I don't know, man. They're gonna have to save it in the ring, and who knows if they do. But I know I wouldn't have to worry about that with Sasha Banks, because I feel like Charlotte's a threat to it can be good with Charlotte, it can be bad with Charlotte, but you never know. And I don't know if these two have it in them to strike lightning in a bottle twice. Of course, this may be the presumed main event of this night, but there is that Austin and Kevin Owens thing that's a match, but not really. But they're acting like it and lying like it is, but it isn't. And
so don't be mad. Don't be mad at us when it actually isn't a match. Same way that you shouldn't be mad at us at WrestleMania 34 for Cena versus Undertaker. It's the same thing. Same thing.
Or The Rock, like not showing up,
yeah.
But yeah, this stinks.
Floyd?
It is my third most anticipated match of the night, so I will give it a solid 6. I am grading on the WWE curve, as in I have my expectations for WWE matches. And out of my expectation of a WWE match, I give it a 6.
This is the biggest angle show of the year in the industry. This is my number 3 most anticipated match.
On day one. On day one. Not period.
Okay.
On day one.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to say 6 out of 10 just for the whole... Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll go 4 out of 10. The only thing I have is more curiosity that they can, as you mentioned, like recapture what they had at Survivor Series 2019 or 18. That was a great match with a super hot finish to get them to the stupid thing they did, but whatever. With the 3-way when it should just been Becky versus Ronda, but whatever. My only curiosity is like, can they out all the nonsense and political bullshit and baggage around those two? Like, can they actually like just entertain once the bell rings? That's all. Let's have a curiosity in that. That's it. So they get 4 out of me for that because I really enjoyed that match they had. They beat the shit out of each other before the Kendo Sticks came out. Then they really beat the shit out of each other, or more specifically, Charlotte beat the shit out of Ronda. So yeah, that's where I am. What's the next match?
Like, Rousey's colder than ice compared to like at any time she's ever been in WWE.
Well, I don't know how true that is because like apparently on house shows like she's drawing well. Like I think it's more of like her what she is doing week to week compared to like what she's actually doing financially. Like I think creatively it's the pits. But like somehow, in spite of that, she's still getting people to show up to her house shows, which only tells me like it's only a matter of time before that goes away. But it's working right now so far for whatever reason.
I think WWE fan interest in Ronda is high. That crossover appeal that she has just doesn't exist. No one outside of the wrestling circle is talking about it. But the people inside the wrestling circle that, like WWE are really looking forward to Ronda Rousey.
I'll pick Ronda to win.
Oh my God. Imagine if Charlotte fucking won this match.
Oh my God. No.
I mean, she could, like,
nah, that'd be
never underestimate what they'll give Charlotte.
She is the greatest WWE women's wrestler of all time. That's how she's booked. That's how her career has been lined up. If she won, I wouldn't be shocked, but she's losing.
Well, yeah, she's losing because, like, we know what the plan is. Like, we know the plan is she wins here, and then obviously she's going to get to Becky at next year's WrestleMania in LA, and she'll probably lose there and then go away. Like, yeah, it's another 1 year run for her. I don't know. What's the next match?
Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent.
Jesus Christ.
You might guess what my number is on this one. I'll just jump in. 10.
If you didn't know it was okay, let's do this. If 10. You did, Floyd, if you didn't know that that was going to be Cody, what would you have it as? Or if you didn't know it was going to be Cody, if it was just what they've done on TV with Seth, where he's a fucking loser ever since we got to 2022, like he gets his ass choked out by Roman because he pissed him off too much, and he won by DQ for because Roman beat too much ass. Then he goes to Elimination Chamber and he gets his ass pinned by Brock Lesnar like a geek, and then he ends up trying to steal his heel friend Kevin Owens' title shot. He ends up getting beat too, and then he lost last week. Who did he lose to last week? AJ? AJ.
No, well, he didn't really lose. Edge.
That's right.
AJ.
Okay, fair enough. Right. You go through all this thing where either way, he continuously loses and loses and loses. Like, why would I care what Seth Rollins is doing at WrestleMania outside of the part where it's like, this is a booking malpractice that you have this person that's been a top 5 act in your company since like 2000 for the last half decade, and say, hey, we don't have a path for you to have a big match at WrestleMania because you're on a losing streak because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, outside of the fact where it's Cody, why, I don't know.
No, because my assumption, let's just say I didn't know who it was. My guesses would be Goldberg or Shane McMahon. Those would be my guesses. And my excitement level would be a 1 because I don't like Goldberg and I don't like Shane McMahon. But the American Nightmare is coming back. This was all before AEW existed. And when he left, this was my goal for Cody. Leave, become bigger, come back. My goal, of course, is for him to main event WrestleMania. I don't know if that'll happen. Probably not. But again, big spot at WrestleMania. This is it. I'm happy. I literally, the moment, Rachel knows this, the moment his contract came out with him leaving AEW, we went and bought WrestleMania tickets. Maybe an hour and a half later, because I knew it was coming. So this has always been, it's a 10, it's a 11, it's a 12. Okay, I'm Meltzer breaking the effing scale. Cody's coming.
God.
I will be in my red, white, and blue from head to toe. Let's fucking go.
Clip that right now. I will be in my red, white, and blue from head to toe. Let's fucking go.
Yo. So Seth, laughing at Seth Rollins' misery is a pastime of mine. When people were like thinking he was about to be in some title match coming to WrestleMania, like I thought they were insane lunatics. Like when they had him basically looking like a bitch and getting squashed inside the chamber like every other geek. Everyone that had talked themselves into thinking he was doing something on top, sadly mistaken. And then, to hear that they ran the John Cena 2018 storyline with Seth Rollins, it makes the whole company look stupid and incompetent, and it's just dumb on TV. Everyone kind of knows what they're doing. Like, it's like they're trying to do their own version of when AEW brought CM Punk in, but I feel like it was a lot simpler with someone that's a lot cooler. Like, that was happening. Like, it was Darby Allin saying, "Hey, No,
he's talking about Darby compared to Seth, not to Cody.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, Darby says, even if you're the best in the world, everybody knows what that means, right? And they don't even have to really go back to it. And you see the location, it's like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. But in this case, they have him just jumping through all these hoops. And I remember liking the way that Cena's work was up to WrestleMania 34 because he essentially set the rest of the card in place. This is like a not as good version of that. And I thought the only possibly creative thing was Edge screwing AJ to heat up their match more, and that doesn't really have anything to do with Seth. Anybody could have been wrestling AJ Styles from that spot. So, but seeing Cody go back to WWE, I love it. Send them. Do they need me to help? Pack the bus. Do we need air in the tires to make sure he arrives there on time safely? What can I do? How can I help Cody and the Nightmare family and all these people in their exposition, their grand journey back to WWE, back to where he belongs, back to Vince McMahon, humbled, yes, sir, please, may I have some booking, please. What do I have to do to help this experience go smoother? So I'm on a 30 for excitement on this. I can't wait to see Cody Rhodes show back up, because you know what that means? He's not in AEW anymore.
You're an asshole. See, this is why shit like this is why Chris Brown got slapped last night. This kind of disrespect. Anyway,
30.
3.25. Throw it, send it in.
3.25.
The mirror match.
Oh man.
I will go. Yeah, 1,000,000 out of 10.
I don't even know, man, because I'm just like, I think Cody being reined in is for his best at this point. Because I think personally, like him as a bell to bell performer outside of blading and ref bumps and distractions from Arn, he's much improved from 2016 or 2014, if you will, whatever you want to say. So, like, I think as a worker, he's better. And I think some of that being reined in on, like, you can't do blood, so you got to take that out of your toolbox. You have no, unless I seriously doubt they're going to have Brandy taking ref bumps like she's Hunter, or not Hunter, but as she's like Stephanie or Maurice or somebody, as for now anyway. So yeah, like, I think they're going to have one of the better matches at WrestleMania. The problem is, what exactly does that mean? Because
3.5.
Yeah, like I think
3.25.
I think they're probably going to have like a 3.5, 3.75 star match and whatever. Like, that's a very good match for an undercard of a WWE pay-per-view in 2020. Or quite frankly, any WWE pay-per-view ever, like outside of like takeovers. So yeah, like this should be one of the better matches of the card. Like, am I excited to see it? I mean, it's been a while. It's been a minute since Cody, and quite frankly, like Cody's left on a super high note. From AEW, that was one at what, second or third best match in AEW this year, the ladder match. So, yeah, like I'm with it. So I guess I'll say, like, for my enthusiasm level, like I guess I'll say like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that. This I know it's Cody. Like, if this was like not Cody, this was like, I don't know, like you mentioned, a Shane or a Goldberg, I'd have been like, nah, give me a 0 out of 10. No, thank you.
So with Seth Rollins for flying the flag for WWE, for essentially burying his public relations in the gutter, for him, if he has to lose this match against presumably Cody in this, and he did all this shit the last couple years, this is a hoeing of the highest extent, that he did all that swallowing of the boot to welcome this man back and put him over and lose.
Hey, everybody has their match where they get embarrassed at WrestleMania. I just watched 12 where Triple H laid down for Ultimate Warrior. So Seth's about to take his, and then they're going to book him strong after. But he's going to take his L. He's going to take the Triple Crossroads, and it's going to be a good day, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to celebrate.
I think you're a lot more confident than you should be. But what I will say is this: if that is the case for Seth, this is his quote unquote punishment. Like, compared to the Triple H thing at the time, given the context of the time, he did nothing compared to what Triple H did. Like, they cared about kayfabe back then, and he blew it on in fucking Madison Square Garden. Like, that's different than than this, where, like, what did Seth do? Oh, he talked shit about a guy that wasn't in the company. Why would Vince give a shit about that?
Daniel Bryan lost in 8 seconds to Sheamus. He didn't do anything wrong. Everybody takes a big L at WrestleMania. It's just what you do.
Charlotte's never taken no big L.
Oh, wait, Charlotte's never going to take a big L.
Let's see who else has never taken a big L. What's Hogan's embarrassing L at WrestleMania?
John Cena got squashed by Undertaker. I guess he wasn't embarrassing because he just lost to The Rock. But
what's The Rock's embarrassing loss at WrestleMania?
Shit, losing 3 main events in a row.
But that's not embarrassing. That's just, you lost.
Yeah. I think The Rock got out before he could get embarrassed. His
I think The Rock got out before he could get embarrassed.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, fair enough.
He had a short window, came back, main evented 2 WrestleManias, and was out that bitch. So
I guess fair enough.
I'm just like, but when you have these long runs in the WWE, you're gonna have an embarrassing loss at WrestleMania.
What's Roman's embarrassing loss aside from bad matches?
Oh, 31. 31.
No, 34.
Oh, 34. I thought it was 31.
Oh, he got his head. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He got his head buzzed. He got his head buzzed by a shoot elbow, and then he got fucking lifted up and hurled and beaten by a fake wrestling move after getting his head busted. Fair enough.
While the crowd absolutely burned all around him, like
oh my god,
and people were laying. They weren't even shooting the crowd.
But the point, but what I'm getting at is like when I think of punishment or embarrassing L's, it's supposed to be like on the expense of the Booker man knew it was going to be embarrassing, not like. Not like the fans gonna reject this because the Booker's inept.
Yeah, I was gonna say his embarrassing L's was every time they were booking him to win and the crowd just was not into it. He said, "You are not my guy," and they were like, everybody knew except Vince McMahon that he wasn't ready yet.
All right.
So next we got King Woods and Kofi Kingston against Sheamus and Ridge Holland, just randomly announced today, actually. Butch will be ringside. This is a tag team match, throwaway match. This is the Head Shrinkers versus the Steiners. This is fucking a second on the show type match.
Rockets versus Islanders.
Yeah, some shit like that. And I would have liked to, I've kind of come around on Sheamus. So especially like, some of the hard hitting stuff he's done. This should be a all right match, but I got nothing for you on how exciting it's supposed to be. So I'll go 4 out of 10. Matter of fact, I'll go 5 out of 10. How about that?
I rate this on a scale of 0 to 10. I rate this bathroom break. That's where I will be during this match.
It would have been a lot more interesting had it been the trios match it was expected to be, but someone got their neck broken, so.
Oh man, no, but I think he could be good. I wish Butch was in the match because Butch tried
when Butch ain't in the match.
Yeah, because Butch is a super tryhard. He's in that Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. He's gonna go out there and try as fucking hard as he could to make it work.
Also, another part like Butch's last match on the main roster on pay-per-view was a 4.5-star match. You fucking morons! Why are you pushing Butch Holland? Get a clue.
Yeah. Y'all know. So
good point by Brewhaven in the comments. Kingston and Sheamus have been on the main roster for like 13, 14 years. Yes.
Long. Well, let's see. Yeah, that's about right. I was gonna say didn't they come in around 2009ish?
Yeah, 2008 or something like that.
My advice to Woods and Kingston: protect your neck. That's all.
Jesus.
It feels like seeing the New Day at this point teaming with each other is it's fucking sad at this point. It's why are they still together for one? Why
to make money?
Why don't they ever elevate these guys? Why don't they care more about these guys and actually treat them seriously?
But it's the WWE. They cast you in a role and they might try to elevate you a little, but as soon as they don't think you're immediately successful, they put you right back in the role.
And they're inept, so even when they try things, they still to go back to we fucked this up. Let's take you back to where you were before we fucked you up. If you even make it, so yeah. Kingston,
Ian, Drew, they are all back to where they were before they won the title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure with Sheamus in there with those two guys, it should be a good match. So. I'll say 6 out of 10. Just keep the less you do a Ridge Holland, the better.
Tag team match for the WWE Championships: the Usos, Jimmy and Jay.
This all on day one.
Yes, taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I have this as a 2 out of 10. I couldn't be less excited for this. I couldn't picture caring about a Rick Boogs match for a championship. It feels like the Usos have had these belts forever. Feels like they haven't done too much with them. At least we don't have to worry about this match and then people saying insane things on Twitter afterwards about Jimmy and Jay. But
that's not true, because if this match is 3 3/4, people will pretend like it was 1 star better.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, man. I got nothing for you on this. Like, I'll never care about Boogs. Nakamura is a skeleton at this point. And the Usos are long in the tooth, it seems like, as well. Yeah, 2 out of 10 for me here.
Floyd?
Greatest tag team in WWE history, the Usos. It seems like that's how they're being booked. I would honestly give it a 5. I just like watching the Usos wrestle. I love their whole entrance, their whole style, everything about it. It's just their whole presentation. What they're doing now is probably my second favorite version of the Usos, except for when, they initially went to the more best way I can say it is street style of dress and all that stuff. I don't know what other way to say it, James. I'm sorry. Like, they started acting. I mean, they started like, I don't know what other way to say it, but
I'm glad you stopped yourself and they started acting like, please stop. Please don't continue. Please don't continue. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the other black tag team in the WWE? No, I'm just kidding. No. But I really do enjoy the Usos. I honestly, when they put on regular matches, I'm very entertained by them. So, I mean, who's on the other side? You could put any 2 guys there, and I would probably have the same excitement for this match.
Look, poor Usos.
I don't know, man. Like, the stuff I've heard some good stuff recently on Boog as far as like his power spots or whatever else. Like, I'd much rather watch him, to be honest, than Rich Holland. So there's that. Is Nakamura gonna care?
We never know the answer.
No.
Like, that's the thing. Like, if you told me Nakamura was gonna care, then yeah, sign me up. This will be a 3-star match, but or like something that could get to like the high to mid 3s. But I'll probably say it'll just be a good match and then call it a day. The Usos are at that point where, like, even if Nakamura don't care and if Boogs isn't ready, they can still carry somebody to a good match regardless. So, I'll say like a 4, 5. Let's say 5.
We've got a singles match, and I'll pick the Usos to retain because, like, why would I not pick the Usos? Singles match: Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin.
Quick question before we move on. Would you rather watch Drew McIntyre versus Corbin or Drew McIntyre versus Moss?
Moss all the way for me. That's easy.
I'll go with Corbin.
I'd rather watch Moss. Because Moss will go out here and bump his ass off.
I'll go with Corbin. Hopefully they keep it short. At least people want to see Corbin get his ass beat, I would say.
Is that actually true? Because I don't recall ever seeing it ever working or people ever wanting to see him get his ass whooped. And it's been years. And they've tried it for years with him. Since 2017, they've tried to get people to care for getting his ass whooped. He'll end up getting Dean Ambrose after having like one of the best feuds in WWE the last of that era with him and AJ Styles. He went from that to being put on the pre-show because Corbin will get you under. Everything he touched, he has a Midas touch 7-7. Everything turns to gold, it turns to shit.
Yeah, man. I feel bad for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is probably my favorite wrestler on the WWE main roster. He might be my favorite WWE wrestler. And he's stuck with Baron Corbin. And I couldn't imagine treating this guy like this. This guy, like I feel like we should be taking up a collection. I feel like we should be creating, change petitions, like something like what did Drew McIntyre do so bad to end up here? And people were tired of him. Like when he was in main events and all he was doing was coming out here and tearing the fucking house down. Like, I don't understand this. This is like a colossal failure. If you think about what he did at SummerSlam, he was wrestling Jinder Mahal and now he's wrestling Baron Corbin. What are they doing with this guy? This guy's a generational WWE wrestler. What the fuck is happening?
He actually wants to be there and work inside it.
This guy is arguably the greatest heavyweight wrestler ever in WWE. This is an embarrassment. Like, people should be up in arms about this. They should throw things at the ring when this is happening. This is awful. Like, poor Drew McIntyre. I hope when your contract's up, you look for greener pastures because, go wrestle somewhere else. No. You think I'm mad about Sasha Banks, right? But I think there's a level of
she's already halfway out the door
of making peace with Sasha Banks and already just a career of disappointment in that regard. Like, this is just another thing to add to the pile. But Drew McIntyre, you still have a chance to make this guy important. Like, this dude came back, went through the indies, went through NXT, went up the heel way, turned, got over, had a good title reign, had like a bunch of bangers for the belt. You know, it's the number 2 belt, but sure, you know. And I don't know, man. It's frustrating, man, to see that guy in this match, in this spot, third, like, or he may open the show. Who knows? Like, he'll be right in the middle.
Can you imagine opening a pay-per-view show with Baron Corbin in a singles match? That sounds like a disastrous mistake.
Yeah, they did it in 2017 with John Cena.
Oh my God, did they?
Yes.
WrestleMania 33? No, that was the Wait, what pay-per-view you talking about?
SummerSlam 2017.
Oh my God. Oh, he squashed him at least, whatever. Or effectively squashed him.
Well, my rating is a 7 for this match. All things Rich said, because I love my Drew. I love my Drew McIntyre. I was the one person that excited with his run. I like Baron Corbin as a person. I have never, and I like his finisher, but I've never really like been all the way behind him as a actual in-ring performer in character. But yeah, I mean, if this is just a easy win or a big win for Drew, but yeah, my excitement is, it's a 7 because they've at least tried to give it a storyline. Over the last month, they've been building to this match. They tried to make it matter by saying since he became Happy Corbin, he's undefeated. They've tried to do something. I mean, was it effective? No, not really. No one cares. I mean, in general, but they've tried to make this a WrestleMania match. They tried to make it important. Even Drew in his interview basically said, no one wants to see me wrestle Baron Corbin. On a promo on the show, said no one wants him to wrestle Baron Corbin. So
this is the way they sell it to you.
Yes.
What?
Yes, he said no one, but he wants to put him through as much pain as possible, and that is what we're dealing with. So, yeah, I mean, I know this is what it is. It's holding Drew off until he can eventually lose to Roman, and so it is what it is. But yeah, I love Drew, so I'm gonna always want to see Drew in whatever match he is. So I get Drew and Cody on the same night. I mean, come on, that's like perfect.
Drew McIntyre is fucking awesome, and like almost virtually every show he's on that I ever hear about, every match he's in on pay-per-view that I see, it's either great or very good. It's because of the effort level and the willingness to do things that you don't see out of dudes his size, because when you bump like that at that size, historically we've always been told that like your body will break down very fast. That dude is high effort. That dude gives a shit and is not jaded and just going through the motions in a way that like a lot of wrestlers have been going through the motions in WWE for a long time. Given that like, why try so hard if they're just gonna break my spirit or whatever else? He still is out here fighting. He's still out here fighting. So to see him with with Baron Corbin, a guy that like is not a stiff, but it's also somebody that I never want to see wrestle. Like the only times I've ever like given a shit about him wrestling when he's in like 3-ways with AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler on SmackDown, right? Because you have two guys that are doing most of the work for him. He's a guy that like liked wrestling, good athlete. He just didn't have the chops for it at a certain level. At a super high level. I think he's always been miscast as a person they tried to make the lone wolf and a faction leader or whatever else, when in reality was he should have always been in a tag team with someone else that could have been either a better worker or more charismatic to have made a team. It just never happened. Like, he should have been put with, all these years, whatever, he probably should have been put with Gable or whatever else. And, been a, big guy, little guy tag team or whatever else, but it just never worked out. But it is what it is, and we're here now. And, yeah, man, the match is going to be okay, but it's just going to be okay. And regardless of whoever wins or who loses, who cares, whatever. But match will be okay, so I'll just give it a 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I see Moss abandoning Corbin somewhere in the match. Drew dominating him, like pinning him with 1 foot.
Yeah, aren't they building towards a split between him and Corbin based off of, like Corbin doesn't like the jokes he's telling now or something like that?
Yeah, he's telling jokes at his expense. He's telling jokes about Corbin, and that's where he's like, dude, no. And
is Corbin going to slap him?
Yeah.
Is Corbin going to slap him?
I think he's going to have to slap him. He's going to have to slap him. And, I just see Drew winning in a dominant fashion, getting him out the way.
Tag team match. The Mysterios, Ray and Dominic, taking on The Miz and Logan Paul. This match has kind of like 2 things working against it, right? Like, you've got celebrity, which, never really excited for that. And then you have like the Dom Mysterio factor you have to add in that just like is like the governor on it, like just holds the match down. So it's like, Floyd had brought up something before the show that I feel like is going to happen, and I'll let him say it, and it just makes me sick to my stomach. But using all this money on Rey Mysterio for this. Imagine.
Well, my excitement level is a 6, and it comes from curiosity. I just want to see how good Logan Paul is. I'm curious. I'm curious if this man can, he's in there with 4 average to above average wrestlers at least. Rey Mysterio is one of the greatest of all time. I know that. But I'm just saying he's in there with a set of group. If they can make him look good, will he look good? Is it something that can turn into him being in the WWE longer? And the thing I brought up with Rich is I think Ray's going to, when they come out this week, Ray's handed Dom the mask. Dom's going to come out and wrestle this match mask. Rey Mysterio has made no bones about his ultimate goal is for Dom to eventually be Rey Mysterio. That's going to be his name. He's going to pass it down. So I think big WrestleMania, big entrance. They're going to do the double mask thing, and I guess that's what they're going to do. I just see it happening that way. But the dude gets to tag with his son at WrestleMania. I mean, to a lot of people, that's a dream. So there you go. It's like LeBron and Bronny playing on the same team.
Oh my God. Brighter prospect, Dom Mysterio or Bronny?
Bronny? Like, let's put it this way, right? Like, he is the number 30, or he's in the 30 as far as his high school class in basketball, which means like that ain't no person that you expect to make it to the NBA, right? But at the same time, like, you think in a particular, let's say his wrestling class around the world, whatever year you want to put Dom Mysterio in, you think he was one of the 30 best wrestlers, and from that he'll be one of the 30 best wrestlers from his class? I seriously fucking doubt it.
Muzz is saying Rey Mysterio 2 or Rey Mysterio Jr. I like Rey Mysterio Jr.
It would be El Hijo de Rey Mysterio Jr. But obviously we're in WWE, so they don't even say that. It'll just be Rey Mysterio. Like, that's how that's happened with like El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Like, he's the junior. He's third.
Man, sad times.
The whole thing with Dom is I've noticed he's like every person I've ever seen on the main roster that's been on this long, you have seen a physical change in them. Like, just from dieting and working out, that dude looks like the same string bean he did when he came. And I'm just like, dude, are you even trying? I mean, you got Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre. They know the way. Remember what they look like. They know the way. Do something. If you're not going to be like super impressive in the ring, at least look physically impressive. And somehow you got tall coming from Rey Mysterio. Don't know how that happened. Do something with it.
Yeah, man. Bad news. Singles match for.
I can't speak on it. No.
I thought you said something about it.
Yeah, man, this shit gonna suck. Whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever. It's just gonna suck. Like, it's Rey Mysterio doing charity for his son. And then, like, you got Miz, and it's like, I don't want to see Rey Miz. Actually, that match was tonight. Like, it looked like the crowd was okay with it. Whatever. I think that match is more appropriate for WrestleMania than putting Logan Paul in a match with Rey Mysterio's son, and it has no business being, like, on Major League American professional television at this point. Not to say that it can't be the case in the future where it gets better. It's just, it is what it is, and, like, for him, even if he improves a lot, like, he still has an uphill battle or whatever else, given that he stunk to start or wasn't really that good to start. Outside of his, like, first couple matches, which they, game plan to make sure he looked great. So yeah, whatever. It stinks. Like, make better use of a legend while he is still great.
Yeah. Singles match.
We can get a storyline between Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Couldn't? No. Okay.
That's funny. He's no hook. That's funny. So the last match on night one we have is a singles match for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on this one. I think this is going to be an example of when WWE and their blind cultist loyalists will tell you a story was great. They'll tell you, oh, it was just this journey we took from SummerSlam, and it led to WrestleMania where she beats her, and it's like, no, man, like, that shit, like, this is just shit that happened. Like, they have Becky Lynch now cutting promos about stuff that didn't even happen. They have cast it in their canon that the fans chose Bianca Belair over Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch was like, and this was like right after Becky Lynch had like came back to this mammoth ovation because she was a surprise and everything like that. So it's like the story that they told you but never showed you.
No. It was a story that's telling you an exact opposition to reality.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist. Like, and they're going, like, Bianca Belair is going to win the belt. It's going to be like, oh, okay, cool. We're right back where we were with Bianca. She gets to hold the belt. Then who's going, like, to, be next for her? You would think it would be somebody like Rhea Ripley if it was a smart, well-booked company, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think this Becky Lynch run has been awful. She's female edge, but maybe worse. Like, it is like, what got her so over? She feels like the total opposite of it. I feel like she's pretty much like she's expired as a character, like, I think, and the hard pivot to the heel thing doesn't help.
It made it worse. No one wanted it. Like, no one wanted to boo her. People still don't want to boo her. They're just going on for the ride because they're like, well, what else are we going to do?
I don't even think they're going for the ride. They're just like,
as much as you can go for it, as you know what I mean. Yeah, I agree with you. You're right. Like, they're not necessarily going for it, but like at the same, because they're going to be dueling Becky and Bianca Chance all night, which shows you, like, clearly this didn't fucking work. This heel turn that you tried for 8 months.
Yeah, man.
The results of this feud, to call it good, not even to call it great or fat, to call it good, is to be simply put, for Bianca Belair to be more over now than she was when she was the champion.
And when she wins, she will not be.
She is not.
Like, right.
No one cares.
This is going to happen, right? There are going to be people that may hear this, right, and they will, or hear something along these lines, and then their way to defend it will be to then pull up a Google trend and see Bianca and see the spike in her from SummerSlam to here, and now be like, all right, now wait a month and then go to the month after WrestleMania once you get past WrestleMania spike, and then we'll see, because that'll really tell you, and then they'll be like, oh well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have that conversation after, because like, the main thing is, like, this shit is so cyclical when you look at, like, these trends or whatever else. So, like, for me with Bianca, it's like, you basically wasted a year of a career.
Yeah, they did nothing. They did nothing with her for several months of last year, and we're talking between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. They did nothing with her.
She won she won stuff, but like it was so small stakes things. It's like, all right, the thing that happened with Sasha to where the match got canceled and you had to pull the trigger on this hastily. Okay, are you ever going to get to the Sasha? Could you have done the Sasha match at a different point at Royal Rumble to have then like heated her up more or whatever else? No? Okay, great. Thanks. Like, her beating Zelina Vega and Liv Morgan to death, and even Doudrop, and enough. That's small stakes. Like, her and Rhea should be running, like, given that, you know, where we are with Becky in her life, where we are with Sasha in her life, where we are with Charlotte just being protected to death for like half a decade, to Bayley just tearing up her knee last year. Those two, Rhea and Bianca, or whoever you want to push besides Bianca, if apparently you don't want to push Rhea, let it be Shayna. I don't give a shit. They should have been plowing through like the horsewomen and anybody else with any type of name value to get them to top stars, get to that level to where you can have these big matches, and then eventually like, oh, Ronda's coming back, I could do a Bianca and Ronda match, I could do a Rhea and Ronda match. They can't do a Rhea and Ronda match, or Rhea and Ronda match. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be a lot of the same stuff for next year.
The promos will be so bad in that feud. Oh my god.
Well, my point is like, you haven't presented anybody like Ronda left for 3 years, almost 3 years, almost 3 years, and like they didn't replenish a damn thing. Like, you look for the big matches for Ronda when she comes after 3 years, you'd be like, all right, oh great, like she has like the match you only look forward to now. Like there's not even a Nikki Bella to come back for like an Evolution thing, right? It's like, all right, either we're going to ask Lita or Trish to come back, and then we got the Horsewomen again. That's all we got. Y'all knew she was coming back. Y'all knew she was coming back when she left. Your whole job was to get people ready for her.
Look, they fired a lot of people. Like, the people that she liked to kind of work with was like Nia Jax. You know, I don't think she'll fight Naomi or anything. So, you know, everyone's caught up in that women's tag team match, and then they fired tons of women. So it's like, you know, who knows how much they actually care about it. So, I feel like, you know, Alexa Bliss is probably waiting for Bianca Belair after she wins the belt or something. So it's like, that's going to get off to like a bad start. But like, I'm a big Bianca Belair fan. I feel like they just like, it's so frustrating what they do with her for me. It's like, this should be the top star. What are they doing? She's going to win, but like, it's going to be hollow.
This is what I'll say, right? There are 2 matches on this entire show where I'm like, the build, whatever. I'm over it, whatever. But I do look forward to them having a good match and the right person winning. So between Roman beating Brock clean without fucking a distraction or bullshit, actually in his first clean win over Brock, and Bianca beating not Ronda, but Becky, that's the only thing I really care about. Beat them and don't have a bad match. That's all I care about. Just give me those 2 basic, simple ass things that are well within the Rumble possibility to do. It's not like I'm saying go out there and have a match of the fucking year. It's not like I'm saying go out there and have a 4.5 star match. Go out there, be entertaining, and put the right person over. This shouldn't be that fucking hard.
I was gonna say, when you talked about Google Trends, you can bring up all the Google Trends you want. I'm in there. I'm at the events. You know what I don't see? People dressed like Bianca Belair.
Well, to be fair, I do not want a lot of the fan base dressing like Bianca.
I'm just saying,
because that can be problematic.
Yeah, I'm saying with the shirts and all that stuff. I see the man. I see Ronda Rousey. You know, them thinking she's coming back at Royal Rumble and all that stuff. I don't see the Bianca Belair love that you would expect to see after this major storyline where she's supposed to be built up to this heightened level where everybody's begging for her to be champion. I didn't get that. I remember when Rich was talking about Hangman back in the day, and he said, I don't see people with their face painting saying how Darby Allin's more over.
Right.
I saw more Alexa Bliss stuff than I saw Bianca. You know what I mean? And it's just in person. So I'm like, I want Bianca to succeed. She is probably my favorite women's wrestler, maybe other than Asuka in the WWE. So I really, really want her to succeed. But this storyline, I mean, the best thing you can say was a failure. So, but hey, I see her beating Becky. I see her beating her again in dominant fashion. And getting that second record was a WrestleMania win. That's awesome for a resume.
Should she just squash her?
I really do.
Because
I really think, I mean, like Becky beat her in how many, 18 seconds?
Less than 30 seconds.
Less than 30 seconds. She comes in there, grabs her, hits her with the KOD, beats her in like 5 seconds shorter than that. That's how you continue to feud.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, right? Like, you gotta, after you do that the first time, you gotta have the actual match here. You can't
look, and they already had a match before, like at like one of those pay-per-views that they blew off in a DQ. They already had Bianca in the ring with her for a triple threat match where Bianca was the one that took the fall. Yeah, I believe. They already had Bianca like sequestered, not winning for months out of the. So it was just like a rotation. That's all this was, and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I enjoy it.
There's no reason why they can't have a great match. Outside Kevin Owens, bad booking. Go ahead.
Kevin Owens and Austin in their segment. I don't know why this is supposed to be some type of big deal. Austin, the last time they were in Dallas, literally came out and did presumably what he's at least going to do at this show. Maybe he'll do more. Who knows? I don't know, man. If it was me and it was like the biggest star in the history of the business, like I would probably do something like better. Or like if, you can't convince him to wrestle, I don't know, man. Maybe just not do it, because I don't know, man. Like if you're doing a match and it's like one of these 2 or 3 minute matches, it's a colossal waste of Austin, and it's a damning indictment on their creative team, because we know for years Austin's turned down stuff. Like, of course, like when CM Punk was around, like that would have been the time, but he didn't do it or whatever, and he came back for this one. I think he really, I don't know why Austin did this, but obviously you throwing out the money argument, everyone's getting paid, but if this isn't a match, it feels pretty misleading. And if it is a match, it's like, well, why didn't they do it better?
Well, my excitement is this is going to be so Floyd of me. One part of me is a 0 because I went to WrestleMania 19 and that was my first WrestleMania, and it was Stone Cold's last match, the end of the saga with The Rock. He went out clean, one more ride on the vest. I actually have a WrestleMania 19 shirt signed by Stone Cold. That was a great, lasting memory of Stone Cold's wrestling career. Now they're bringing him back. And it's just like, that sucks. You know what I mean? It's just like, I had that great moment. And it was like, that was it. He went out the right way. He went out the right way. He put over his main rival on the way out. The Rock went on to be the fucking Rock. And, it was like, that's how you do it. I mean, this is not, Hogan didn't do this. None of the other guys did this. Stone Cold did it the right way. He went out. He actually stayed retired. He stuck to his word. He did the GM thing. He came in and threw some thunders at 32. Amazing. Loved it. Like, I love these type of segments. So if it's a full match, I'm very upset. I want it to be the WrestleMania segment thing because I love the WrestleMania segment thing. I love the little fun, go around, throw a couple stunners, throw around some beer. It's going to be 32. It's going to be in Dallas. The crowd's going to be crazy. That's all going to be hype and excitement. I'm excited for that. But don't take away my match. Don't take away my moment. Don't take away that for this. Why?
So does this all basically come down to whether or not like the bell rings and then the bell rings again after there's a pinfall?
I guess.
I think you can do that and also check the gear, like if Austin shows up in his gear or not.
I guess whatever. To me, it's like it's not a match. So like, NA, like I can't really, actually, rate this because it's not. Are you fucking serious? Becky Lynch has pulled out a pair of scissors and is threatening to cut Bianca's ponytail.
A legal weapon.
Look, I don't think people are going to like when I say this, but at some point, they have to book her in a hair versus hair match. At some point.
I mean, if she wants to, sure.
Well, yeah, like I feel like it would be beneficial, like to do that, like, and of course she'll win. Like I'm not saying, hey, cut the woman's hair off and shit, but like, yo, if that's your whole gimmick, like you gotta like put that on the line
at some point. You'd imagine. But then again, I mean, in a company like this that is so built on strong characters, you'd imagine they do something like that, right? So, yeah.
Day 2.
Like I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to eventually do a Starlight Kid mask match, right? Mm-hmm. Bianca's hair, I don't know.
I don't know how people will feel about that. And,
they feel terrible about it. Like, I think if you say this on Twitter, like you'll get like swarmed and attacked and run off the internet. I've seen it happen to people, but like I'm like, no, like hair versus hair is classic wrestling. It's when it's done correct way. It's it's the best. Like, but like, we turn these things into a joke in this country. So,
Okay. So Bianca is cutting pieces of Becky's hair off right now.
Oh, so maybe they'll book it here.
Well, I mean, we're 8 days out, so she's already cutting her hair. So like, clearly this means like Becky just wanted a shorter haircut. Like she's not cutting her down to her scalp. She's basically taking like 4 inches off.
The refs came down to stop Becky from cutting Bianca's hair, but when Bianca went to cut Becky's hair, they just stood outside and watched.
That's usually the reverse. Usually they try to stop the good guys and then let the bad guys do what they want.
You're right. That is not what happens.
Normal. But it was just kind of crazy how no one came out to stop her. But now, I guess, after she's already cut her hair out.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
It takes a lot of ingredients to fix or build a car, like cooking, but without the frozen dinner easy way out. eBay Motors has 122 million parts. It's always the right fitment, so you can follow any recipe to a T. Whether it's a vintage Italian coupe that's classic like Grandma's meatballs or a German luxury car that's as complicated as Oma's rouladen, to cook up something great in the garage, use the eBay Motors app or visit ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
That kind of
Yeah, man. Night 2 for WrestleMania.
Night 2.
Should we just start from the big match? Is a 1-match show. This show was very bad.
Yeah. They feel like they could have moved some stuff from day 1 to day 2 to help day 2.
Yeah.
Because I feel like day 1 is kind of loaded with their best stuff. I put quotes in there.
Really?
But,
if I look at this card,
Becky just looked at her hair, is freaking out right now in the ring and is like in a rage right now.
So this is how Becky beats Bianca at WrestleMania. She's raged out.
Kaioken? All right, I guess. Like she's so emulated with her still below shoulder length hair. like okay, sure, whatever. This is not Tam Nakano versus Julia at all.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Edge Styles is tonight. No, so that night. That's day 2. So. Day
2. Okay, so
in their best interest, they should probably open with Edge and Styles, because if they do the women's tag match and the 2 celebrity matches, like Knoxville and Zayn and McAfee and Theory, like that block of WrestleMania will be like all time terrible. But I guess we start with the big match. Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, takes on Roman Reigns in a winner-take-all match to unify the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. People have not talked about whether the belts are actually merging into one, or if both guys are just going to have, or one guy's going to just have both belts.
Are we to just assume that it's going to be just like how it was at WrestleMania 35, where it's just like, oh, like somebody just carry around both belts until like they lose in like a month or two?
Right. Lesnar versus Reigns. This is the story of the company since 2014, pretty much, when Brock Lesnar breaks the streak. We're here after a umpteen rematches. They've had one good match ever against each other. They've done every old school 1970s finish in the book to further stretch this rivalry out from the mind of Paul Heyman, I would imagine, and Vince. This is like, I can't think of a match that they've done three times, like more than three times in big spots that I'm less excited for. I think people are into the Cowboy Brock thing. It's pretty funny on a certain level. Yeah, but
the memes alone.
Yeah. For me, it's still the same dynamic there, except Roman's like, he's supposed to be booed this time. I don't really find myself cheering for Brock Lesnar at any point. It just doesn't click with me in that way. I would probably go a 4 out of 10 on this. And I feel like it's a culmination of everything I've said that Roman Reigns' title reign was going to be and is, aka it being the big one. All this being for him. They weren't building anybody to topple him or anything like this. This was always about getting him another, and he already beat Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia, like at the end of last year. Like, this already happened. Like, this is like, I don't know if it's supposed to be different because it's at WrestleMania and this is where Lesnar has owned him, but I doubt they're telling that story. That would be like a New Japan style thing. I don't care about Paul Heyman anymore. He can take his funny faces and like put him behind a newspaper holding up over his.
They don't even do that with him anymore. Like, when's the last time you saw one of those, like, cut to Heyman in the middle of a match with Roman or Brock, like, in the way they used to do it, like, in the mid-2010s? That doesn't happen anymore.
Like, just leave my television. Like, I'm good. Like, Vince McMahon's always been into this match a lot more than people have. At least this won't get hijacked like the other two. One would think, unless the show's been so bad up to this point, the crowd is just going into business for themselves, which you can never underestimate, especially a WrestleMania crowd.
Here's another part. Like, if this show is so bad, there might be where it's like, hey man, we've been here for 3.5 hours. This shit is all sucked. We are going to go into business for ourselves, and it could happen all over again. And if it does, my God,
I'm going to have a field day if that happens. But I'm picking Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar has no new stories to tell for me. Roman Reigns at this point almost has no new stories to tell either. It's just like, this guy owns the company. That's the story. Like, if you haven't got that story by now, you'll never get it. Like, it's just like, this is it. Like, turn him babyface already. Like, just do it. Stop being afraid.
Brewhaven asked, like, WrestleMania 31 wasn't hijacked, was it? It was at first, but they wrestled so damn well that like the crowd got into it because like Roman took a shit ton of punishment and then he had his comeback, and then that's when they had to double down, and then Rollins came out. But like, that match was great, and then Rollins came out. So like, that was the one case where they've ever had a match where it was like they had a really good ass match, or a great match, whatever you want to call it, and then like everything else has been diminishing returns ever since. But they keep going back to this fucking matchup.
It is really handicapped this company. They're stuck in time. And WrestleMania 31, them doing that with Seth Rollins at the time, it felt like it was this great thing or whatever. But really, that cash in froze this company in that moment, and they've always wanted to get it back there
because these idiots took these idiots almost a decade to realize, oh yeah, we got to turn Roman heel to then get him over, and then eventually he'll have the babyface run. It took them that long to realize, like, to stop fighting the crowd for forever. Like, it took another fucking wrestling company to come out to sprout out of the fucking sand, out the soil, for it to happen.
Amazing. And I'm sure they'll just do a bunch of F5s, Superman punches, German suplexes, like the same match that they always have.
That's my favorite kind of matches.
While WWE and all the wrestlers that talk about psychology and storytelling, this being the place for it and everything like that, yet like we keep seeing what happens.
They're devoid of storytelling with these guys at this point. There's nothing else for them to do because Brock doesn't. Unless Brock's wrestling a smaller guy, there really is no there's really nothing there right now. It doesn't seem like it to me anyway. Like,
yeah,
what is Brock like? Unless Brock is beating the piss out of people and they got to fight from underneath, there's really nothing he has for you right now, or has had in a while. And like, there's only so many of those you can do before people were like, all right, more the same. Remember, there was a point where he was just German suplexing people until they eventually until the crowd basically turned on the match, and then the babyfaces start fighting back, and that's how they got people. Like, even that has became a trope.
Well, these are my favorite type of matches, so my excitement is a 7. This is WWE 2K, where they both start with 3 finishers, and you just go,
charging.
And it's like, yeah, who could get that fourth finisher in first or whatever. I'm looking forward to this just because. And you're going to have Heyman when Brock Lesnar's ahead. Heyman's going to be doing like, oh, I can't believe this is happening, that kind of thing. Roman, they have basically forced me to enjoy this storyline. It has been I didn't at first. I thought it was kind of boring. And then it's just kind of like, oh, I haven't seen them go all in on someone to this extent in so long that it is intriguing to see how far they're going to go. How long are they going to go before they get bored with Roman Reigns or whatever? And it doesn't seem like it's happening. So, I'm really looking forward to this match. And, I've been here for the whole saga. I told y'all I've been 30 and on. I've been at WrestleMania, so I've been to all the matches. I'm going to get Roman winning. The thing that I expected to get at 31, I'm going to get 38.
You expected a WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, I'm going to get a 38. And I'm finally going to get it. And I'm hoping it's satisfying. We're going to see if they can pull it off. I'm going to keep an open mind because I've never seen WWE try this hard with the storyline. Is it working? Is it not working? But they're trying something. And they're going all the way. And they're like, they're content on making it work. I'm going to keep at least an open mind on the match. If they wrestle the style of match and I'm liking, I'm going to like it. I'm just like, is the finish going to be satisfying? Is he going to just beat Brock Lesnar? Because if Paul Heyman throws in a turnbuckle pole or something like that, no, go in. He beats Brock Lesnar. He chokes him out. Match over. The head of the table, is there. There's no challenger left for him. That's the storyline you build because he finally conquered the beast.
Man, they've got to get some new guys up and running.
Gable Steveson.
Bring them out right after the match.
I remember what I gave Becky and Bianca, but basically the same thing. Like, it's on, like, just have a good match and put the right person over and get the fuck out of there. That's all I got. So we can move on.
Man, unbelievable. Singles match between Edge and AJ Styles. I feel like a couple years ago, this would have been like AJ Styles fires it up a couple times a year. Hopefully this is one of those nights for him. Edge, despite, my reservations about him, he'll put his working shoes on. He'll try hard. But Edge's character and like the promos and the sitting and hold on, actually I have to do the Edge lights. Hold on, let me, for Edge for this, I need to, turn the light down when I talk about Edge, to just let you guys know what it is. But yeah, man, Edge and AJ Styles, I guess this is supposed to be the dream match, work rate match of the show. Not much of a dream match for me at this point. Just 5 years ago, maybe. Who knows? I need to zoom. Bruce says. So yeah. So I got to zoom in like Edge and just talk to the camera here. So what do you guys make of this whole this storyline with Edge? He's turned heel at random for this. He's gone full you people with it. He's acting weird on Twitter. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It's not really,
I'm gonna be the weirdo. I really dig it. I dig the whole thing. I dig Edge basically using his whole history to say, I came back and it made everyone excited and I was getting the pops and all that stuff, but I didn't win. The ultimate opportunist won. The dirty Edge won. This happy-go-lucky guy is showing up and getting stacked by Roman on top of Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan. So, I dig it, and I have 100% confidence in AJ Styles and Edge that they're going to put on an amazing match. My excitement's a levels of 9 because they're going to put on an amazing match. I just know they're going to put on a really good match. This is my main event of night 2, in my opinion.
I'll go 6.5 out of 10 on this one. I'm just curious to see if AJ can fire up. Oh, funny comment from Brew Heyman. Edge is talking about millennials despite being 3 years older than AJ Styles.
Yeah. They're both old as shit. Yeah.
If you tell me this match is 15 minutes, I could go. You can get me into saying anything as high as like a 7 or an 8. If you tell me this match is going to go as long as some of these Edge matches have gone, then I'm going to tell you no. So from that perspective, I guess like if it goes over 15 minutes, I'll give it a 3. If it goes like around 15 minutes, I'll say like a 7 or an 8 because of how good those guys are, and how much they actually, how much Edge actually, while having some stinkers, still has some, normally, I think his hit rate is either 50-50 or even still above because either he puts enough thought into it or he puts too much damn thought into stuff he does. So I'll say that.
I'm going to pick Edge because like, I'm just going to think about who they probably pay more money to. Edge has been WWE lifer. AJ Styles is from TNA. But I feel like they're putting Edge over.
Yeah, Edge is winning.
And he's
AJ don't give a shit.
Remain, he'll probably like do. Oh wow! Apparently Edge is on the TV right now, and then the light is zoomed in.
Absolutely,
light on TV.
Yeah, he looks
Amazing.
just like you right now.
Amazing. But yeah, Edge is going over, and he's probably a threat to win the title this summer at some point.
Edge is who I said I would have put in the Universal title and had him winning the title at. So I definitely see him winning. James, I think the over/under is 25 minutes on this one. I think
they are not good enough to. They are not good enough.
I think the shortest it goes. Minutes. No, I'm just saying, you look at the rest of the night 2 card. There's nothing else. This thing's going to be over in 2.5 hours if they don't go 25 minutes. I'm just saying, look at the card.
I think you're underestimating how much bullshit they put between these segments. Like these 4 hours, like WrestleMania back when it was 4 hours. Like you might have gotten like, there's no way you got 2 hours of wrestling, a bell time. There's no way.
Yeah.
So like, Yeah, like between Hall of Fame inductions and all these commercials and them showing their community outreach and Connor's Cure and whatever random thing they're going to do post-match or pre-match with promos for these celebrities and moments or whatever else, or hashtag moments with a Z, like, you'd be surprised how fast that shit, like,
DJ Valentino Khan.
Yeah, they're like, what is he's doing a music performance, right?
Yeah, I don't know what day though.
So there you go.
He's
So
like
I'll go ahead and turn my light back on so you guys can see me now.
So he's
now
a
we're post
DJ.
Edge.
So the guy's a DJ that's performing.
I believe so. Yeah.
And apparently he's like related to Nick Khan. That's how like this whole thing got put in. So this is like one of those family favor deals. Like this, like he has like not even that like I don't even think he has like a huge following or anything. So this is just like, just slide him in there.
Hey, nothing like nepotism, baby. Love that nepotism.
Yeah, slide him in there. Triple threat tag match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. RK Bro, Street Profits, and the Alpha Academy. I look at this match and I see lots of good wrestlers. And if I'm not mistaken, Floyd, did the Street Profits turn heel?
They did not turn heel, but they turned serious.
Look, I was calling for a heel turn for the Street Profits at day one.
No, they just like, we're not having fun. We're not your brothers. We come in for the titles. It's more of a serious, they're serious faces more than actual heels. They haven't done anything actual heel. They're just like, you're the champions. We want to be the champions. We're not trying to be your friends. So
they want to be champions again. They're what, like two-time champions already, right?
Oh yeah. They want to be champions again. But yeah, I think
good.
This could be the sleeper of night 2. This could end up being the best match on night 2.
That's true. Like they have good matches together. Like, Cable's awesome. Riddle, regardless of the fact that he's a sex pest, he is awesome as a wrestler. Randy Orton in tags is like easy for him to just do all the hits. And then the Street Profits are a very good tag team. So yeah, and Otis is, a very good tag team wrestler as well. So like, yeah, this has a chance to be a top 5 WrestleMania match easily. Or let me phrase that. This has an easy chance to be like regardless of how many matches you think could get to 4 stars or something like that, this could be one of them. If they give them enough time and say go nuts, they could definitely get to 4 stars. Like they have that level of talent in the ring. Will they care because it's tag team wrestling? They might because of Randy. They might because it's Randy Orton. If this was not Randy Orton, if this is not a Randy Orton wrestler in the
I can't guarantee this for Randy Orton either way because they have a history of saying they don't give a fuck about Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Let's go back to WrestleMania 28 with Kane.
He was trying to get out of it. No, he was trying to get out of it because that was his birthday. He was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Let's go back to WrestleMania 34 when they had him in that throwaway United States title match and that Jinder Mahal ended up winning. Him and AJ didn't really get a ton of time at WrestleMania 35.
I thought they got too much time.
I think they might have got like 13 minutes.
I thought they had enough time to where like the crowd, you could hear the crowd complain about like the lights fucking up their vision. But whatever.
Yeah. They do weird things with Randy Orton sometimes.
That's true. Like, you fuck around and have like a perfect mid card WrestleMania match with him and Seth, right? Like it is very like this with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I'm gonna pick the Street Profits just because I like them, and I'll go 6 out of 10 for the excitement.
I agree, 6 out of 10, and I'm going Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. I think this tag team still has a lot more legs before Randy eventually turns on Riddle.
I am picking a team that is not Randy Orton and Riddle for that specific reason. They're going to do the heel turn here, and then they'll beat Riddle's brains in with Randy Orton, and they'll wonder why he's not over by the time they get to SummerSlam for their actual match.
They should have Riddle turn on Randy Orton.
Why would they do that? It's a heel company.
Yeah. Like keep the old man Randy Orton as a babyface, and like let him be over or whatever, and then like let everybody know Riddle's the guy you're going with, but that's probably not the case. So a singles match between Pat McAfee and Austin Theory.
Jesus
I used to see Austin Theory wrestling at Evolve. I thought he was just headed for WWE at some point. I don't know. Like, the WWE fans love Pat McAfee. I can take him or leave him. I think he's a bit overbearing sometimes on commentary, but like, I think, I would probably be more excited about him as a regular wrestler than I would like hearing him on commentary. I think he gets it. I think the last time we saw him in the ring, he was with Adam Cole. This time he's with Austin Theory. I don't think there would be that much of a drop off. They'll probably practice this thing, and he'll come in prepared. So
the difference was that it was like there was like 40 people involved in that match. Both matches that McAfee had on NXT, whether it was the War Games match where he came out last, and then the match he had with Cole at, I think that was I can't remember what year. I think it was TakeOver 30, 31, whatever the fuck. And like they had Darius Butler and AJ Hawk come out. They had Undisputed come out. He's doing, flips on the other people or whatever else. It was tons of smoke and mirrors in that shit. Like now when it's just Austin Theory, there's not enough subterfuge around to cover up that stuff. So he's actually going to have to try to wrestle, I'd imagine. So like, good fucking luck now. Before, like, you were able to get by with the fact that he could do a few things. Now he actually really has to wrestle. And I've heard that, like, Rip Rodgers has been training him, so he's a real wrestler. And it's like, have you looked at what Rip Rodgers talks about when he talks about wrestling? Have you ever looked at his cage match or whatever else? Horrible. So, I'm not, like, whatever. Like, that's besides the point. But, like, for people to think, like, this dude is actually, like, like, he actually could be, like, a real franchise guy. I doubt it. Like, I think I need to see an actual real match before I can be convinced of that. Because I haven't seen a real match for him to be convinced of that yet. Even though I think a few people have or think that already, and I think, nah, man, like, go back and watch this match and see all the shit they did to hide him in plain sight.
Brewhaven said he could be WWE's version of Mongo McMichael, and I'm just dying laughing.
He's better than Mongo McMichael. No. Even with the smoke and mirrors, he's better than Mongo McMichael ever was. Mongo McMichael is a top 5 worst wrestler of all time.
Well, remember, Mongo was a commentator as well, and then like was moonlighting and until he got into the wrestling.
Name me the match he performed in as well as anything McAfee even did. Like now, see, after I just said that shit where I laid the smack him down on McAfee, now I have to definitively like, hey, you've gone too far in the other direction. Like the way you talk with Mongo McMichael is one of them, take him out back and shoot him. Hide his boots. Don't let him come out to the ring.
I got a feeling if you check some Mongo out, you would be more positive on him than you remember.
I thought Mongo sucked when I was a kid, and I ain't know no damn different. Now you think I expect it to be good now, or decent, or worth a damn now? All right.
No. Mongo was one of those people that under my teenage child eyes, I thought was good. And now I like 20 years later, oh my God, I watch a match and I'm like, he couldn't do basic.
He could do nothing.
Things right. He couldn't have a basic. He's in there with Kurt Hennig, who could make me look good in a wrestling match, and he was bad.
If look, Mongo Michael was so bad that if you put a toilet in the middle of the ring, he'd probably forget how to wipe his ass with toilet paper.
He was terrible. I think this is going to be a good match. I think Pat McAfee's going to show his athleticism. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, 5 or 6. I'd say 6. I think it'll be fine. I think Austin Theory is a very good base for what Pat McAfee's going to do. Even if they add Vince McMahon coming down towards the ring, that'll give it a little bit more smoke and mirrors. It'll be fine.
Man, they should
2 out of 10. I don't give a fuck. Like I just don't like. It's like I'm sorry. It's a charity wrestler versus a sex pest. Get it on the screen. Get it off the screen. Let's move the fuck on.
Oh man, I can't follow that. Anything goes match. Literally what it's called. I've never seen anything called an anything goes match. It's Johnny Knoxville from Jackass from 1999 against Sami Zayn. 3 out of 10. Somehow Sami Zayn got a WrestleMania payday. I'm sure he's a happy man. What will Johnny Knoxville do to himself? That's all I care about. We saw his slap ability in the Royal Rumble. Sami Zayn's done plenty of hardcore matches and stuff in Ring of Honor and stuff with ladders. So I think he's just going to go up to Johnny Knoxville on that day and ask him, so what you want? Like, what's the craziest thing you want to do? And then Johnny Knoxville's going to be like, I want to fall off the top of Jerry World. And then they're like, no, you can't do that. And then like they're just going to have to work from there and keep going lower until, they find something comfortable, that the company's comfortable with airing on their biggest show of the year. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be on my WrestleMania. He's from 1999.
Look, I have some bias here. I think that aside from this latest Jackass movie that just came out, I have watched every single episode of Jackass in all 3 movies. So so forgive me, I'm biased here. For all I know, or at least what I imagine and hope is that Jackass 5 is being recorded and this is a part of Jackass 5, right? So they're going to do something crazy. And in a way also, I'm kind of I would love to know that if Johnny Knoxville rendered Shane McMahon expendable and he got in fist fired his own son because
I got the real now.
Got his own, I got my own. I have my own stuntman, backyard ass wrestler that will actually get me some exposure, as opposed to my son. There's been a money dump for free.
Has fucked it all up for years,
right? So whatever. I think they'll have one of the better matches in WWE because he's fucking in WrestleMania because Sami Zayn is still a very good wrestler, even if he still can't do the things he used to be able to do before his shoulders went bad on him. And Knoxville is out of his mind. So they're about to do something crazy, and because it's Zayn, it's bound to be well done. So I think they're gonna have a good match. I do. I absolutely do think they're gonna have a good match. There's no way that Sami Zayn is gonna come out for WrestleMania and have a bad match. That's never fucking happened.
Why do I feel like this should be booked on Joey Janela's Spring Break or some shit?
Because it should. Because it should.
Yes. I mean, I see Steve-O making an appearance. I see all the Jackass people doing something stupid.
I knew they was wilding on Jackass when they was doing the backflips into the elephant shit. I was like, hold on, this is another level than the rest of what y'all were doing before. I was like, all right, I ain't got nothing else on Jackass, but
this is gonna be my excitement for it is not high because I literally forgot it happened until you just told me about it. I literally forgot it was gonna be on the show. Mm-hmm. So 3, but now it's just I want to see if Johnny Knoxville kills himself. Just morbid curiosity because he's going to try to do something really stupid,
right?
And he's morbid curiosity.
He's not in the cage. He's in there with Generico and not Undertaker. This he's way past his sell by date. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. There's no reason we're not. It's fucking Generico. I'm sorry. I've never seen Sami Zayn have a bad match unless he's in there with someone that's absolutely fucking sucked. He had no business being in the ring. And you can argue well, that would be untrained wrestler Johnny Knoxville, but it's they've had months. There's no way this match is not going to be good.
So we've got a fatal 4-way for the women's tag team titles. Those belts that are pulled up a couple of times a year and told that, we're supposed to care about them. So this match is actually a big test of the will Liv Morgan ever win theory. So we've got Carmella and Zelina Vega as the champions. We have somebody that can never be trusted to win, the reverse Undertaker of WrestleMania, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, randomly put together, in the last month. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, who look like they translate to other genres of entertainment, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler. So this is a fatal four-way. First team to wins the belts. The last time Sasha Banks was in one of these, she lost. And just one of the more ridiculous booking decisions in the history of WrestleMania. For me, I feel like Carmella and Zelina are coming off of those things. So it's going to be, people that you're probably going to associate. So I'm going with Natalya and Shayna Baszler. And yes, Liv Morgan will lose.
I treat this with the same exact interest that I treat the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which is the curiosity for or whatever. I won't live in Rhea to win because I like looking at Liv and Rhea. So there you go.
More of that team, you say?
Yes, more of that team. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Can you discuss what who the person that actually might be the biggest draw in the company getting saddled here? What is this?
I guess it was hey, let's do something with. Okay, if you're Sasha Banks and you're halfway in, halfway out, and they still want to do stuff with you, and they still like you, and you're trying to figure out what to do because they're going to go with Bianca and Becky on one side, and on the other side Ronda and Charlotte. You figure out what I'm going to do. And given that they fired so many women that they can't do a women's battle royal, they come up with this multi-person tag match. This tag team 4-way match. So, you make a team with Naomi. That is a fun team. I guess for the time being, you hope that you win these, and then you try to make use of the actual division, even though the division has been around before they came along and it stunk. But maybe because there's two people that are over, in a bigger way, they can actually see the point of it, because they kind of see that women's tag division is pointless ever since they ever took them off of Sasha and Bayley to begin with. So yeah, you put them on, in my opinion, you put them on Naomi and Sasha, and then you try to utilize all these women in ways where they can be on cards or on pay-per-view when they're not in title matches, and you try to get some of these women over in decent matches where you have Naomi and Sasha together. But like we've said often while covering the show, this is WWE, so the idea that they would do something beneficial for themselves in the long run is almost like comedy.
Foreign concept.
Yeah. They do more damage to themselves than good. So, I mean, I'll say that they do the right thing, so that if they don't, I can yell at them for not doing it. So I'll go with Sasha and Naomi.
All right, so that is your WrestleMania preview.
There's one more match. Fresh and hot off the presses.
Oh, I refreshed the page and it's there now.
Bobby Lashley versus Omos.
All righty. Two big brothers going at it.
Nine.
Willie Slam almost. I'll go at 8. Why not?
After what I just saw, when Bobby Lashley came out and they just started running into each other, and it was a car crash.
Yeah, this is right.
If you keep this under 5 minutes, you might got you something. You might have your. This might be. This might be your.
Is this a night?
This is the Big E. In honor of Big E, because he is not with us for this run of WrestleMania because he broke his neck. I was almost going to say Memorial, but I was like, he's not dead. That's not how Memorial's work. But it's in honor of Big E, who's still with us. This is the hope. This hope to give him some joy while he's in a neck cast.
So like this is night 2's version of McIntyre and Corbin, I imagine. But yeah, I think he's going to slam almost. If it's me, I feel like you can introduce Gable Stevenson here too. Like he's going to be at WrestleMania in some form or fashion. Maybe linking him with him and Lashley. I don't know. Maybe they both can slam almost. Who knows? And
so when they bring out Gable Stevenson, how long before we find out that like he too is also a long lost kid of Kurt Angle's?
Kurt would have to re-sign with the company first, and then maybe we would find out.
Oh, there ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem.
So if they bring Kurt back, he's eligible. You're like, actually,
And you can't be like, they never do that. That's ridiculous. Do you remember 2017?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, remind me to yell at Finish-L about that. He was all in on saying that shit was working or / going to work before Jason Jordan was gone because of his neck. That shit was dead in the sand, or that shit was dead in the water way before then. Yes.
DOA.
Swear that shit was working. He was more steadfast and unrelenting on that one than he was with Jinder's title run.
No, he wasn't. That's his all time.
No.
The Jinder one
not
is
which
his
one was worse.
time.
Not which one was worse, but the more he was like, yeah, I'm for sure it's definitely working. Because there were times where the Jinder match, after Jinder match, he'd be like, that one wasn't that good. It was okay. Like, he was always like, that Jason George is going to work. I hope you listen to this. You was wrong as fuck both times.
Man. So that was our WrestleMania 38 preview. There was one more big news story that I feel like we should talk about. We had the official retirement of Triple H from in-ring competition. He appeared with Stephen A. Smith, detailed, much like Regal in his laundry list of issues that he had with Jericho. Triple H came out there and was pretty emotional talking about it at all. I didn't see the full interview. I only saw a clip. I know I came on the show and basically said this whole thing smelled fishy to me before. And, I just like to move on from that now. So, that never happened. So, but as far as like Triple H goes as the wrestler, obviously he's kind of been wrapping it up slowly for about a decade now. He's come back, been like a special attraction at points. And I realized, a couple years ago, I was like, this guy's a deathmatch wrestler. This guy, and it was a kind of a revelation on Twitter, and it kind of took a life of its own. I kind of see people talking about it now, and it's pretty funny to see. But I fucking hated this guy growing up. And I hated that he beat all these wrestlers that I thought he wasn't on their level. I hated the fact that he kind of got recast as like the star, like with Shawn Michaels, like he was the star of DX. I hated a lot of his title reigns. I hated that his matches, like the cheating, just everything. He drove me up a wall, watching Triple H. And then like his part-time run was like almost worse because like he would do things like unretire, beat CM Punk and go back into retirement, like things like that. Like he had a few matches, I would say, throughout his career where I thought he was like really good. Of course, he had the great run in like the year 2000 where he was like probably the peak of his working ability. His body was like just incredible at that point, started, working out really hard at that point. And, he just, in a way that he hadn't in 1997, even like, you look at early 1999 and then you look at summer 1999 and then you see just
cut
like
the shit.
Cut the dedication.
Cut the shit. I'm cutting you out right now, Rich. I'm sorry. Cut the shit. You look at him at WrestleMania 15 versus Kane, and you look at his physique, and then you look at him by the time he gets to SummerSlam 1999, and this man has gained like 25 to 30 pounds worth of muscle. And there's no way to fucking explain with that level of travel at that time other than he was out here doing something that is illegal in a number of states. Period. I don't care, but it is what it is, and let's not pretend. Like, the dude toured quads and pecs and shit that you only tear when you're on shit.
Yes,
he just had a massive heart episode, which could possibly contributed to his use of PEDs. It is what it is. Does that mean he's a bad person? Not necessarily. No, I'm not villainizing him for his use of drugs, of performance-enhancing drugs at a time when people were doing way worse to their bodies and just working out and taking testosterone. Sorry, I don't care. But it is what it is. It's a cosmetic business at the time, and that played a part into it as much, or to a significant factor in a way that he was when he started, dating and then eventually marrying Stephanie. Like, it is what it is.
I'll say this: Chris Jericho won. I'm sure Bret Hart had fun hearing this. I want to make sure everyone remembers that WWE has pushed him for decades as this ultimate ring general, Harley Race style worker when he was actually a deathmatch wrestler. He never knew it. Triple H always had main events get stole from him, like he left them out on the counter. Triple H somehow avoided ever losing to The Rock at WrestleMania. Triple H killed Monday Night Raw in 2003. Triple H somehow got on the booking committee in 1997, years before he was anyone, and he was making decisions about Bret Hart's finishes. Remember the Croc. Remember when Triple H went over Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2001. Remember when Triple H decided that he alone was Harley Race and Ric Flair combined randomly. How could we forget what he did in 2006 to John Cena, where he was leaning in to get him further booed by the hardcore fans? And I'll tell you the reason I didn't forget it, because he did it 10 years later with Roman Reigns. How can we forget him going over Booker T in WrestleMania 19 and telling Booker T to dance for him because he's an entertainer? Remember when he hit Sting in the face with a sledgehammer, then shook his hand after pinning him? What? Get him out of here, man. Like, I have no good memories of Triple H. None.
Triple H is, for me, top 10 favorite wrestler of all time. I love Triple H from the beginning, especially the Mania after WrestleMania 14 is one. I mean, the Raw after WrestleMania 14 is one of my favorite Raws of all time. When Triple H elevated to the leader of DX, and then he turned on DX, and then he brought him back. Some of my fondest memories of Triple H. Pedigree still one of my favorite moves of all time. I love Triple H. I will always love Triple H. He's on my list. He's like, my list of wrestlers I haven't met is very, very small. Triple H is on that list. So that does suck. The game, I literally have a sledgehammer that I bought when I was like 19 just because I wanted a sledgehammer like Triple H. And this is 21 years later. I still have the sledgehammer. So, no, I was a big Triple H guy. I was a big Triple H guy. For about 4 or 5 years, he was my favorite wrestler. So, period.
James, is Floyd our PFT commenter?
He might be.
No, you know what? And it's funny because of my whole fandom of Triple H. I never had to defend him online because I wasn't online like that.
And then you went online and realized like everybody fucking hated that guy and thought he was on the push.
No, gotcha. I always tell people I wasn't. Even though I had the internet and I talked to some friends about wrestling, I wouldn't say I was a part of the internet wrestling community till like 2016. Triple H's career was basically over. So, I mean, I'm very late to the game of, how people can hate your favorite wrestler with such a passion that they're ready to help pack the bus for them. You know what I mean? So, this is new to me. I'm just like, this is new.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't know.
James, any fond WrestleMania 2000 memories?
Oh shit! Here we go. I guess I got to tell the story again. I was a wrestling fan as long as I go back as far as I can remember. I was a person that like used to, when the Monday Night Wars were going on, like I would watch one show depending on whichever I thought was hotter at the time, and then I would record the other and watch it like when I woke up before going to school, and then I would give the other tape. I would give the tape off to or record a pay-per-view, and I would give the tapes off to my friends because they were into it at the time in elementary school, right? By the time I got to middle school, I had, around 2000, I kind of got, WCW was going down to shit. I was kind of tired of it. I got more into football at the time, NFL football anyway. And like I was into more, and Monday Night Football was winning me over, right? Watching Brett Favre, watching Randy Moss, or whoever was more entertaining to me than watching wrestling at the time. So, I ended up not watching WrestleMania that year. I got that disenchanted with watching wrestling at the time. And then I found out that the next day that like, in that four faces of, four McMahons in every corner, whatever else, that Triple H fucking won. He beat The Rock at the end. And before that, he beat Mick Foley by pedigreeing him twice. And I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done. And I literally did not watch pro wrestling again in any form or fashion, not one wrestling show again until WrestleMania 25, because I was listening to Bill Simmons at the time on podcast, and he was talking about the Shawn Michaels and Undertaker match for WrestleMania 25. So I watched that, then watched the main event, and the Randy Orton dude's like super talented. He moves around the ring very well. And then next year, watched WrestleMania 26 live because it was, I presumed it was going to be Shawn's last match with Rich. And then, like, by that point in time, we had decided, like, let's just watch WrestleManias or whatever else. And then, like, go on YouTube, watch some stuff from stuff I never saw before. And then, like, next thing you know, The Rock is about to wrestle, John Cena at the next WrestleMania, and then a pipe bomb happens, and then we basically start watching, me and Rich basically both, in that summer 2011, started watching wrestling full time again. That's basically the story how we even got back to here. It leads us to One Nation Radio to begin with. But he ran me off for a decade. Now, think of how much I love pro wrestling. He ran that guy off for a decade. Or that, young teenager off for a decade. Like, there were times where I fucking hated his guts, and I was tired of the bullshit and run-ins and nonsense. And like, I am very big on baby faces. And like, if you, and this is the reason why like I don't rock with WWE the way that I used to. Like, if you lose the plot that much to where you can't realize that even your company history is built around Hulkamania, Bruno Sammartino, Steve Austin, The Rock, Bret Hart. Like, if you can't realize that, like, you're built on having protagonist, babyface heroes, whatever else, and you're going to just overrun them by having them lose this one fucking guy that's in the main event with your actual top guys, I'm sorry, get the fuck out of here. I'm done. So, yeah, like, he brought me a lot of, what's the opposite of joy? I don't know. But
pain.
I guess pain, if you will, watching some of his matches or whatever else, and the finishes, and like, what was the point of this, and it's political nonsense, and like, it seemed like it was like you're literally leaving money on the table by pushing this guy on this level. Whatever. And I thought a lot of that shit sucked. But once he basically got done with having this like inferiority complex of pushing himself to this extent because of like things that happened to him beforehand, and he realized like his career was over, and he went into the NXT portion of his career, I got far less of a problem after that. Like, I thought that, this is a person that clearly had a love for it outside of like trying to just push himself on top. And quite frankly, you look at some of the other guys that like from that era that ever got the book, he was better than a lot of them. Like, he's a better booker than Steve or Kevin fucking Nash. So yeah, like I have some bad memories with him. I have some fond memories. I have a lot of matches that I like from his. I also think that he got too over there. He was a lot of times overindulgent in went too long in his matches. Rule. Yeah. So yeah, like I So like I have a lot of mixed emotions for him, a lot good, a lot bad, but like I will say that like, he had a all-time career, regardless of however I feel about his career at the time that ran me off. He was one of the successful people in the history of the business. He absolutely was. Can't deny that.
Yep, sure was.
Over the top.
Made a lot of money.
He absolutely overachieved.
Over the top, self-indulgent wrestlers. Are you kind of getting the look at my taste? I mean, what's coming back Saturday? Like, it's my taste. That's what I like.
So
it's all making sense now.
Yes, it's like that's just what I like.
Yeah, man. But I don't really got too much else. I guess Floyd, while we got you here, give us your state of AEW right now. Like, it seems like the company's like coming off a lot of highs and business wise, and there's some guys that are new people in different spots at the moment, and we got a lot of people that have joined the promotion. And what's your overall temperature? We just came off Revolution, which was very well received. What are you thinking is going on with it?
The build to Revolution, and Thunder. You can almost say Thunder winning the title was almost an extension of Revolution. They just saved it for a couple weeks. Yeah. It seems like we're in a very good place. I like all the champions in the company right now. I want to see where it's going. I love that Scorpio went ahead and got rid of that TNT title open challenge rule. That's a heel. That's what heel's supposed to do. Screw that. You got to earn a shot at me. I love it. Nyla Rose is always the first contender for every woman's title change. Just check the history. So she's going to do her thing. And then, So, and I like Hangman. I like what they're doing with Hangman, and I like where Punk is. I like Jericho's in a perfect position for where he is, and I think he will elevate Garcia. I don't think you can really elevate 2.0. I just think they are what they are. That kind of thing. And then, of course, when Eddie Kingston comes back with Proud and Powerful, that'll work. And, and we're heading towards the FTR versus Young Buck match. So that's going to always make me happy. But no, the state is good. It was like when Cody left, which I thought was just a big thing in February, it was going to come up. I was looking at it and I was just like, that was a good decision, because I really didn't see a spot for him right now. I just didn't. I thought they'd done such a good job building Sammy and building Darby and building the young guys that his spot's kind of filled right now. And you see what they did as soon as he left. They just put Sammy and Tay into him and Brandy's spot. They just said, hey, we got this. And, he's when it comes down to it, it's just, Sammy's probably going to put on matches that everybody likes better than what Cody would do with the same opponents. So, yeah, I think the state of AEW is really good. Could it get better? Yes. I think the women's division is about to get a little deeper. I'm very excited about the Owen Hart Cup on both sides. And, yeah, I think the women's division is the one, I wouldn't call it a weakness, but it would be the weakest thing in AEW right now.
Cool, man.
I think I covered the question.
You said you like what they're doing with Hangman. Like, what is something that you're liking? Because I feel like there are a couple of different tones around Hangman. Like, there are people that want him to have more of a presence on the show. They kind of just want to see him more. They're looking at, and then there are other people that like myself, and it sounds like you and James, we've kind of been won over by this guy just from his title matches. He's been fucking phenomenal in the ring.
Yeah, he's a Tony Khan champion. He's a Tony Khan champion. He's putting on amazing matches. That's what he's doing. That's his thing. He's going to build you up over this. He's not a big talker. I mean, he's had a couple really, really solid promos, but his whole thing is not to come out there and cut a 30-minute promo. He's not Punk, you know. He doesn't have Don Callis. His thing is that I am the best wrestler in AEW. I am the best wrestler in the world. So when Adam Cole challenges him or anybody else comes out and challenges him, he goes straight at him. Let's fight. He doesn't back down from challenges. It's probably going to wear on him at some point, but right now it's really fun to watch.
Yeah. Cool, man. I just wanted to get you some screen time there on it, but I don't really have too much else, James.
No, I think it's the end of the show. Floyd, thank you for joining us. Can you hit us with your plugs?
Oh yes, you can follow me personally at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter, or you can follow the show at AT Elite Pod. AT Elite Pod on Twitter. Somebody took my name before me. They barely use it. I hate them. Show is scheduled to come out. The show is scheduled to come out Thursday nights. This week, Thursday, I will be at WrestleCon Super Show. So it will probably come out Friday. I'll find a time to record it Friday. But I will be watching wrestling. So I won't be talking about wrestling. Yeah. But no, it's going to.
Awesome, man.
We're gonna have a good time. Make sure you check out my boys FTR versus the Briscoes at ROH Supercard on Friday.
I think that's my most anticipated show of the weekend, Supercard of Honor.
The reason I'm not sleeping this week is that show. Like, I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, a couple plugs for myself. The Swerve City Tears album, their third album, dropped on March 18th. Haven't really plugged it on the show here, but check it out. Got about 7 beats landed on that album. I'm on the hook of 2 songs. Definitely check that out. I put out a music video for a song called Unlimited. That one will be a part of my Dream Machine project, which should be out later this year. And I have stuff that I can't talk about for months. But remember, I said this.
Yeah, so for listeners, I'm adding this on the back end. We are going to cover Stardom World Climax both nights later in the week. I have a lot to say. I think I have another Stardom rant about how fucking awesome that promotion is. Also, I think I have another rant about how fucking awesome Tam Nakano is. It's on deck. Just bear with me. It will be here in the middle of the week, and I'm bound to go off at multiple points about how awesome both of these shows were. So, especially night 2. So, be on the lookout for that. All right. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening, y'all. Be sure to rate on whatever app you're using to listen to this with. I am trying to remember the script that I keep in my head to do this. If you've been listening on the stream, hit us up with the bits. If you are listening from the podcast, go to our red circle and drop us off with a donation. And be sure to listen to the other shows on the network. Besides One Issue Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, the Ricky Clive Wrestling Show, Grown Men Watch This Shit, the Grave Consequences Podcast, 8-Bit Suplex, All Things Elite, Great Match Generator, and AEW Match Guide. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
This ad is almost 3 million gallons long because it's exactly the same amount of time it takes for that much water to flow over the deck at Niagara Falls. So, how does the deck stand up to all that water? Thompson's Water Seal. Just another reason they call us America's recognized brand in water protection. Weather protected, water sealed. Thompson's Water Seal. Trust the seal. Available at a retailer near you.